This is the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RV Advisor Podcast. My name is Tom Alexander, and we have the Youngs with us. It's Leah and Brennan, and it's RV life, and they're always moving around. So we've got to see where they are. Right now, we find out they're in Central Florida. Welcome, folks.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's great to have you. And obviously, the first question we have to ask is: everybody's doing well in your orbit? Everybody's feeling okay and doing all right?
We are, yeah. Luckily, we're at the Brennan's family's farm here, so we've been able to kind of stay in place and hunker down for the past
several months.
Yeah.
So. Really? It's been a while, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're used to the kind of travel and sort of maybe putting roots down in a certain area for a period of time and then moving on. I guess that's not too unlike what you normally do, I would imagine.
Well, we actually, most of the time we are here on the farm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we live full time in our RV on the farm. And but then we take several trips a year with our other camper. We have a teardrop that we do a lot of full-time people in. So, but being at the farm, it was good to be here when everything went down. We have some guests right now that had a big summer trip planned cross country, and they got to Texas, and then it was everything started shutting down, and they had to come back. So
oh wow, yeah.
So we're lucky that we weren't. Normally we take a big summer trip, and
I see.
And this year,
it's up in the air, right?
We didn't plan one.
Yeah, last summer we did almost 2 months out to California and back right at this time. Right. So had we done the same thing, we probably would have been turning around and coming back due to all the closures with the parks, because we stayed mostly in state parks when we do travel. So
yeah. And you've been, how many states have you been to? You have a tally on that?
Ooh.
Or about
20 something. Yeah, not too.
Yeah, I think we're around 10 national parks, 20 or so states. So, Yep.
Yeah, so it's you guys have a tremendous following. You've got well over 13,000 members on board, followers, I guess I should say, on Instagram, and it's and of course you've got a couple of other stars of the show as well. Your dogs are prominently featured.
They are. They're the stars of the RV for sure.
Yeah. And so that you say you have a teardrop when you go out, and you're and that's it's I think you refer to it as tiny living. So tell us about the teardrop. I mean, what the functionality of that, and just what kind of room you've got in there.
Sure.
So basically, when we renovated, we spent about 6 months renovating our motorhome, finished that, and decided that we couldn't be without another project. So we decided to build the teardrop basically from the ground up. It was just an old, rusty trailer, and Brennan had it rewelded and basically built it from the ground up. So we'll talk a little bit about the size and everything.
Yeah, I found it. It's a U-Haul, like one of those utility trailers that you would rent. Regular red iron trailer.
Sure.
So I had all the railings cut off, and then it's 5 by 10, so it's 50 square feet, which is very tiny. I mean, it's basically a sleeping pod, but it has a small galley. It's got about 100 watts of solar panel that power fans, our charging station for phones and computers, but it's very self-contained, very easy to get in and out of places, and very cost-effective to travel in, just because it's fuel costs are.
I would think so, but it's home. It's home on the road, right? And you can I guess sleep comfortably, and then of course my mouth's not working well today, and make a little breakfast as well in there, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep, we did it for almost 2 months last summer, and I mean it's very comfortable, and we found we were worried about just having such a small space, but we found that when you're traveling like that and staying in these state parks and hiking and going to national parks, you're not inside in your camper most of the time. We spend most of the time, sitting outside, eating outside and whatnot. So we really enjoyed it.
That's great. That's great. We're talking with Brennan and Leah Young, and from RV Life, and well, they're living the RV life, that's for sure. And of course, Instagram stars. You can catch them at Instagram, and it's let's see, it's _Rambler without the E _RV, right? And we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come back with more with Brennan and Leah in just a moment. This is the RV Advisor podcast. We'll get it working.
RV owners, it's no secret that those manufacturers' warranties just don't cut it. Get the peace of mind you deserve and step up to the RV Advisor Extended Warranty Plan. Visit thervadvisor.com or call 833-229-0911. That's 833-229-0911.
We are back on the RV Advisor podcast. My name is Tom Alexander, and I'm joined by the Youngs. It's Brennan and Leah, and RVs, motorhomes, you name it. They've got a lot going on right now, and you guys are speaking to us from the motorhome. It's a 35-footer, I believe you said? Correct. And one thing I noticed, I think one of the takeaways, first of all, it's beautiful, because I'm looking at your Instagram page, and it's beautiful. And my wife is a big time, she's, although you wouldn't know it by my office, because it's just it's a museum in here of movie artifacts and radio things and everything else. But the rest of the house, my wife has good taste, and certain things have to be so. I'm looking at your place, and it's just decorated beautifully. Who's in charge of that?
We actually both worked together on it, renovating it and kind of coming up with a design aesthetic. It's a 1989, so originally it was like baby blue carpet, dark wood, and we really wanted it to feel like home, and it's actually very similar in style to our house that we used to own. So we wanted it to feel, if we were going to live on it full time, to look and feel as much like home, even though it was not a traditional home. So
and it really does. Again, I'm looking at the pictures, and it's pretty astounding. And I'm looking at a photo. I guess it's your bedroom, and one of your dogs. Well, both your dogs are actually on the bed there. And
they tend to sneak in all the photos. They love to be photographed.
What are they? Corgis? What are they?
They're Chihuahuas. One's a Chihuahua.
The Chihuahuas. Okay.
Yep. The other one's a full Chihuahua. So they're perfect little RV dogs because they're tiny. They don't take up a lot of space. So.
Yeah. What are their names?
Gromit and Bimby.
Gromit and Bimby. I like that. All right. That's unusual.
Very unique. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's great. All right. So now you also have acquired an RV as well, a fifth wheel, right? You're working on that.
Right. We've done this for 2 years in the motorhome, and it's very nice. I mean, it's very comfortable, but I think after 2 years, we kind of wanted more space. And so we thought about, different options, and I think the slides is what really was attractive for us, just having that additional living space. It really does feel huge when you have, slides rolled out. So
every day when we go over to work on the fifth wheel, I walk in and I say, like, it's a mansion in here. It's so big compared to the motorhome with no slides, just having slides and the higher ceiling. So we're doing a little upgrade, but this one is a 2003, so we're again doing the full renovation, floors, paint. We actually took out a lot of the cabinets and stuff this time around, and we still have plenty of storage. So
I know that a lot of times when folks are looking, if budget isn't a huge concern, they'll buy something brand new. And I mean, we were back in January, we were at the Tampa RV show, the super show over there. And, it was, you see these unbelievable, multi-million-dollar, units. and they've got everything, but at the same time, it's not always necessarily like buying a car where you want something a later model. It's like buying a house. You can buy something that's 10, 20 years old and renovate it and make it your own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was our thought, like our design style, I guess. We were like, even if we bought something new or brand new, we would probably end up doing a lot to it. So that's kind of where we were like, well, let's buy older and
invest
renovate
the money
it.
in the renovations. But also, I think the other thing is, like, if you buy an older one, some of the older ones are built far better and have aged far better than some of the newer budget models that you can get.
Oh yeah.
The materials used and the quality of the craftsmanship. Like this one is everything's solid wood. There's no particle board in the entire RV. It's all solid, nice, thick wood and full aluminum frame, and it's just a very sturdy little camper or sturdy RV. But
if you are looking for all the amenities and cool features and all that stuff, then new is the way to go too. So
it just depends on what you're looking to do.
I'm sure that there's something for everyone out there, and particularly if you enjoy renovating and kind of making some, giving it your own style and customizing it and everything. It's pretty cool. You might not want to necessarily do any renovations on a brand new unit, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, under normal circumstances, would you say that you're on the road a lot, or is it, do you or is it usually just maybe once or twice a year you kind of get out?
Oh, we do more than that, but this is kind of like our home base. So like, granted, it's Florida, so we don't always go in the summer here. Like we're gonna take a big trip. We take it in the summer to get out of Florida.
Right. Yes, I know that well.
And we would have done that probably again this year. We were talking about going over to Canada, the Pacific Northwest. And then, when we are here, we do weekend trips probably 2 or 3 times a month. So.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing this now? I mean, when you made the transition from kind of brick and mortar into this, how long has it been?
It's almost 2 years now.
Yeah, it'll be 2 years of living in here, and then there was about a 6-month period that we owned the RV, that we renovated it. Right. So,
what was the driving force in that? Was what made you say, you know what, let's downsize technically and be more mobile?
So I guess it's coming up on 3 years ago, in August, that there was the solar eclipse.
Yes.
Everybody
did.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
So my mother's got a little property in North Carolina that's was right in the line.
Oh, it's right in the track?
Yeah, right
Path
in the track.
Of totality. Is that what it was?
Path of totality.
Yes.
So we really wanted to go see it, but we, with work schedules and everything, we really could just basically drive up, stay one day and drive back. And on the whole way back, I just saw nothing but campers. And I was like, man, this was a really fun trip. It was such a cool experience, but how could you stretch it out a little longer?
Right.
And so I had an 8-hour drive back. And so I'm just turning the wheels the whole time.
Sure.
And Leah was sleeping a lot of it. So I was like, I'm going to try to convince her to get an RV. She wakes up. And then I brought it up probably the next day. Yeah. And thought that it was going to be like a big discussion, and she was like, "No, let's do it." So,
I'm always up for I like change. I like different things. I think we both do. I think we always connected over that. So when this came up, we were like, why not? Let's do it. So we already our house was like 950 square feet, so we were already living relatively small. And so, I don't think it was that difficult really to transition even smaller. But once we got the idea in our heads, we kind of started doing some research, and there were some people that were doing it at that time. We found accounts, a few accounts here and there, nothing like it is today. I feel like now today it's really a movement, and there's tons and tons of people out there that are doing this lifestyle. So.
Yeah, there sure are. I mean, that's, I would say probably 80% of the folks that we have on this podcast are full-timers.
Right.
Sometimes we'll get other people that do it part-time, or they're industry folks or whatever, but or have RVs in their life in some capacity. But the majority are just like you, where it's a full-time thing. And so the decision to go from brick and mortar to the RV was literally in the stars.
Yeah, it was. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, that's interesting. So that's great. And you guys how long have you been together? How long have you been married?
4 years. Yeah. Not married yet.
Not married yet.
Oh, you're not married yet. Okay. Okay.
My last name is Hamill. We were.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, but
I was just letting you run with calling him a young.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, compared to me, you're both young. So
there you go.
I wasn't completely wrong, right? And by the way, you didn't have to agree so quickly.
But yeah, we've been together for 4 years, and 2 of that has been RV living. So
great. That's great. So tell folks again where they can find you if they want to follow you and learn more about your adventures and just all the great stuff you guys do on Instagram.
Yeah, so I think we're probably best known on Instagram, and it's _Rambler with no E _RV. I'm sure you can probably link it somewhere. It's a little hard, but and then we have a website too with a blog and some other resources too, and that's just theramblerrv.com.
Gotcha. Okay, terrific. Well, there you go, folks. You can follow Brennan and Leah, and it's Leah Young and Brennan Hamill. Got it. Okay.
Got it.
Now we got it right.
Yeah.
Hamill and Young sounds like a comedy team or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I like that. Here they are, Hamill and Young. or a folk music duet or something.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I did see a guitar, I think, in one of the who plays.
I play the guitar.
Do you? Great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Always have, so.
All right. What kind of stuff do you play? Do you travel for music a little bit, or is it just for enjoyment?
I used to in my youth. I played in bands and toured and did records and all that. But then,
wow.
Basically just.
What kind of music do you do?
Rock and country were the bands, and then I played in an instrumental post-rock band for 10 years.
Wow, great.
Kind of just avant-garde noise music.
That's great. That's
yeah.
Well, I'm a musician too. I'm a keyboard player, so it's
cool.
Yeah. So anytime I run into a fellow musician, I'm always my ears always perk up.
Yeah. Now mostly it's just plucking when I'm drinking my coffee in the morning.
That's fine. That keeps you sane.
It does. My favorite part of the day.
Absolutely. So, well, Brennan and Leah, we really do appreciate your time. And again, folks, it is _Rambler, no E _RV. And that's where you can track them down on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
I'm Tom Alexander. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.